Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to what I have decided now is the final episode of the Northern Ohio Golden Broncos. And the reason I've decided that to be that is because we are on the doorstep of College Football 26, and I don't really want to carry over that many things from College Football 25 over to College Football 26 because it's just not going to be a good idea. So thankfully, the timeline for the Hawaii series wraps up or lines up because that's also the final episode, but that was just naturally going to be the final episode. This one, I was going to do at least like one or two more seasons after this, but I don't really want to, realizing that College Football 26, the early release, is literally like a couple of days away as of recording this. So yeah, we're down to the wire. I know that the All-American Dynasty series is probably going to bleed a little bit into the lifespan of College Football 26, but not that much. It'll probably be like that week it'll go, and then it'll hopefully be done the same release week of the 7th or whenever the new game drops. We're only a couple episodes away from that. So that's gonna suck a little bit that video has to, or those videos have to go a little bit further. But I want to start fresh with College Football 26. I want to start new dynasties. I want to start new series. I want to start everything new. So I just want to end these series before that. And unfortunately for the Golden Broncos, that happens to be this episode. So it is going to be like the Hawaii series with the full season and the off season in this video, but it's just going to be this video, and then that's it. So we will have to say goodbye to everybody at the end of this video, and we probably will never see them again unless we see them in another series. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? But today is going to be the final episode, the series finale of the Golden Broncos. It's a little sad because, I mean, I built this team from the ground up. We created it in the team builder. We brought it over here. We met the team in the first episode. We had some great moments. We had some ups. We had some downs, as you do. We won a national championship. We've had people drafted in the NFL. I mean, it's been a long series. It's been a great series. I've had a great time, and I appreciate everybody that's watched every episode or maybe just one episode. I appreciate everybody who's checked out a video. And it's time to say goodbye to the Northern Ohio Golden Broncos. Hopefully we can go back-to-back, though. That'd be pretty sick. So if you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go send off the Golden Broncos the best way possible. Since this is now the final episode of the series, it kind of takes the pressure of recruiting off, but I still want to have a decent recruiting class. I don't want to leave the Golden Broncos in the ether with a bad recruiting class. So I'm not going to turn on like auto recruiting or anything. I just know that it's not the end of the world if we end up with like only 1 5-star or whatever. I don't think we will, obviously, but that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like we don't have the pressure of we absolutely have to have the #1 class in the country or whatever it is. So in the last episode, we won the national championship and we had the off season. Those are two separate episodes, obviously, but in the last couple, I guess I should say. And we lost a few people to graduation, mostly on our defense. Jeremiah Buckley, Jordan Allen, those guys graduate. We still have Nick Madden as the quarterback, and he is going to be the starting quarterback this year. We also have Jay Sean Oliver, who's going to be graduating this year along with Mac Bannister, which is another reason why it's a good thing to end the series now because these two guys are going to be graduating. Bryce O'Connor, we moved from wide receiver to running back, and he ends up taking a huge jump up to a 91 overall, which was absolutely crazy for me. I didn't think I'd have that happen. He was a former #1 overall recruit a couple of years ago at wide receiver, but you change him over to running back, he's a beast, and he's actually going to start for us this year at running back. We'll still see a little Jay Sean Oliver, but he's been worked so much these past couple of years that his wear and tear is just absolutely brutal. So he barely ever gets time to start. Like he's never really a factor in the fourth quarter anymore because he gets so tired and so hurt so easily and so quickly. So having a fresh running back in Bryce O'Connor, especially with 97 speed, 92 excel, he's going to be a beast. At wide receiver, we did lose Sammy Allen Jr., so we have a new fresh crop of wide receivers to maybe make some impact. I don't know if they will, but they might. We've got Greg Mills at tight end. We've got some good tight ends. I do like that. If we were going to go another couple of episodes, I'd really like to see those tight ends develop into some pretty big studs. But it's nice because a lot of the people that we've come to know and love are graduating this year. A lot of those final holdovers, like Darius Lockett and Michael Gilly and Quentin Luther and Mason Curtis, a lot of the guys that we've known their names for the entirety of this series or for the majority of this series, they're gone after this year. So it's kind of a natural endpoint as well, even though it doesn't seem like it. Kind of a jarring statement for me to say that this is the final episode when probably a lot of you thought that there were going to be a couple more after this, and I did too. But I looked at the timeline and I was like, it's going to go way too long into the College Football 26 cycle, and I don't really want that. So that is what I've decided. The team schedule: Tulane, Maryland, App State, that's our rivalry game. Then Rutgers, Michigan, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, Iowa, Indiana, Washington, and Purdue in the Big Ten. And I did change the playbook, I think, right? I changed it to Oregon? Yes, okay. So we are going to be simulated. We will jump in here and there if there's like a massive game that we feel we need to, like for recruits or something. We will jump into the game. But for the most part, it's going to be like the Hawaii series where we simulate it. Hopefully, in the Oregon playbook works for us. But that is where we're going to be simulating. So this is what recruiting looks like after the preseason and the week 0. We are sitting pretty comfortable for a few guys, but it's going to be a tough battle. As you can see, we have no hours left because I've spread them out onto some good players. I hope it goes well, but let's start the video. Let's start simulating here. Week number 1 against Tulane. That probably would be a good game to jump into since they're top 15, but I'm going to trust the Oregon playbook to get the job done here. Did I get any XP for that game? That's not a good sign. And we lose the game. Okay, so we're now no longer number 1 team in the country. I probably should have jumped in that game. We're still at 0 hours, but we are in the lead now for a lot of different people. That's huge. And we're probably going to have to get started on visits very soon. I'll wait another week maybe. Let other people decide if we need to, or if they get down to their top 5 or not. Simulating week 2 against Oregon. I'm not getting any XP, which is a little concerning. We do win that game, though, against Maryland. And now we have the rivalry game against App State. Okay, now a lot of teams are even able to schedule visits with players. So we'll take away some of these extra 5 stars that have locked us out. All right, so we're going to have to make some decisions on whose hours we take away and where we put those hours on who we schedule visits for. So I think what we can do is we can definitely take away Jonathan Ham. I know Louisville's starting to make a push, but we can take away Jonathan Ham. We can switch to 25 on him because we have a good lead on him right now. Same thing with Quincy Afaw, or Afaw. Afaw? I don't know how to say his name. We'll take away his hours. We'll put 25 back on him, so he's got 40. Joe Hollis will do the same thing. That way we can hopefully be able to schedule some big-time visits on people. Same thing with Joey Volk. And if we have hours remaining after this, we can always go back and put some hours on. So we have 100 hours, which means we have the ability to offer 2 visits. So let's schedule a visit for the Rutgers game with Josh Boyette. He doesn't like, what's he like? He likes proximity to home. We have a B in that because he's from Florida. Hopefully do you think he's going to like championship contender? I'll do proximity to home. It's not going to give us a big boost, but it's at least something. Try to fend off Miami. And then we'll also scout visit Mac Wolfert. We should probably get him for week 6 because it's a bitter opponent, but I'm going to do week 5 against Rutgers, and we're going to do pro potential for him. All right, that's the 2 visits we can schedule. I guess technically we could get 1 more if we free up like 20 more hours. So if I take 10 off of Largent and 10 off of Duck. Yeah, 10 off of Duck. We could probably get a visit for... Who needs one? Damian Moffitt, maybe? I don't know. Who do we prioritize? Maybe Moffitt. Maybe we prioritize Moffitt. Is he the fast one? He's got the power and the speed, right? Yeah, he's got decent speed and power. I think we're going to prioritize him. So we're going to schedule him for a visit. We're going to send him on week 5 as well. He likes pro potential. Perfect, because we have good at that. All right, so out of that, we were able to schedule 3 visits for week number 5, which is coming up very soon after this game in the bye week, obviously. Will we be able to take down App State? We should be miles ahead of App State in terms of overall, and talent on the field. We should be able to beat them pretty easily, and we do. And we have unlocked something. It is Architect unlocked. Okay. Pretty sick. We go back to recruiting. Oh, yeah, we definitely needed that scheduled visit for Josh Boyette because Miami and USF are making a big push. Mac Wolfert's looking good. Akeem Duck, we probably should get on a visit now. We have hours freed up. So let's go. Let's put all the hours back on to Akeem Akeem Duck, and then schedule him for. He gets a complimentary in week 5. That's beautiful. We'll do championship contender for him, and then we should probably get Largent on a visit. He has to come against Michigan. He likes proximity to home, unfortunately. It's a B+. All right, but we also should get the full 65 on him. And now we are down to 15 hours. But Texas is starting to make a little bit of a push. I got to be careful with some of these guys. I'm going to put 10 back on Jonathan Ham. And we're going to put 5. No, we can't put 5. Can't put 5 on him either. Is there anybody I can put 5 on? I guess I can just put the 5 back on Jonathan Ham. Let's just do that. Let's just put 15 back on Jonathan Ham. Try to keep Louisville out of the way. And hopefully those teams don't make a big push during this bye week. Because we're going to need this home game against Rutgers to go well. How are we looking? How are we looking? We're the number 5 team in the country with 1 loss, unfortunately. Yeah, Miami's making a big push. We need this game to go well for us. We have 80 hours, which means we can schedule 2 visits. We can get Joey Volk against Michigan. Schedule that. And we can get Joe Hollis or Quincy Afaw. Or Eric Emery. We probably should get Eric Emery because he's ready to commit, actually. So we'll get him on week 10. Hopefully that works out. Maybe he might not even make it to week 10. But I am going to jump into this Rutgers game because this is a big game. We need to win it. So and we need to blow them out preferably. So let's go and do that. This is a big one against Rutgers. We are at home with 5 stars on campus, multiple, who we want to impress. So if we can just blow them out, that would be pretty sick. But who knows what's going to happen with that. I mean, we lost to Tulane already this year in simulation, so who knows what's going to happen in sim. But we're up to 10-0, and we're driving down the field again. We didn't go for a field goal there? I don't know what happened. Please score, because if we score here, we're at the goal line. If we score here, that's 17 points even. And we get to see Bryce O'Connor. Nice. So he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Broncos. That's huge. That gives us that 17-point advantage. And we have the football again. They gave it right back to us. They're scrubs. Well, this is going perfectly. This is exactly how I wanted it to go. We are clearly the better team than Rutgers, and it's showing on the field as Bryce O'Connor will take us to the 22. That should be the end of the ball game. And it is. We will win exactly 17-0, which gives us that 17-plus blowout. 5 stars on campus are going to love that. And maybe they'll even commit after this game. Who knows? We can only hope. But Bryce O'Connor gets player of the game with a touchdown and 59 yards. Nothing too spectacular, but the Oregon playbook that we're in doesn't really lend itself to the run very much, as we saw in the Hawaii Dynasty with Steven Kranchik. But I'm hoping that this win really propels us to get those first couple 5 stars, because that'll free up a lot of hours. It's already going to free up a lot of hours with the visits gone and stuff. Did we get them? Yes! The number 1 and number 3 play. I think number 3. No, he's number 5. Never mind. I can't. It's hard for me to even see in the golden background there. But the number 1 and number 5 player in the country have both committed. Akeem Duck is very close. It's kind of annoying that he isn't already committed. But now with 210 hours, We can swap this and go back to the 50 for Volk. We can do the same for Joe Hollis. We can also schedule him a visit for the Washington game in Week 12. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Quincy Fowl. We need to get him probably on campus in Week 10. That'd be a little bit of a smart idea to do. So we'll take away the 25 for that. We'll put the full 65 on him. Ham, we definitely need to get a visit scheduled for him. We're going to do Week 10, and he's going to like playing time, it looks like. So we'll do that. We'll take away the 25. Oh, we can't do the 50. Darn it. Okay, so we're going to have to keep that on him. We're going to keep the 40 on him. And then we can schedule this slot corner. That's probably going to be the last thing we do. Actually, we only have 15 hours. That's right. How do I do this then? This Devin Maddox dude's super interested in us. Same thing with Titus Etienne. We haven't even put any hours on. Nobody else is recruiting him. Seems a little weird. I'll put 5 hours on Devin Maddox. Actually, you know what? I probably should put the 10 hours on him. Let's put 10 hours on Devin Maddox and then put 5 on Titus Etienne. I mean, nobody's even recruiting him, so maybe we can snag him for the cheap. Not have to worry about putting hours on him. But 2 big 5-star commitments already. That's always big. And it's another home game against a pretty tough Michigan team. We're probably going to have to jump into this one as well, so I will see you guys in there. An absolutely massive game again. Back-to-back weeks at home here against Big Ten teams, but not because it's against the Big Ten teams. It's because we have 5 stars on campus who we want to impress. We want to make them seem like this is the place to be. And it looks like it's not going to be a blowout against Michigan. That's just, I didn't think it was going to be. I knew that they'd probably be obviously a tough team to go against, but I was kind of hoping maybe something would happen where we could get a nice little blowout, but that is not the case as we try to take down this top 25 team, number 12 team in the country. Bryce O'Connor's risk of injury is pretty rough as well, so his speed is going to be down, just like Jay Sean Oliver's usually is. He's not even getting the blocks that he needs here. It's not ideal. We'll try this. Maybe Bannister gets open? No, probably not. They're gonna follow. They're gonna have somebody follow him. Oh, look at Nick Alfonso. Nick Alfonso takes that huge. That's the freshman up there. That was a big gain. I thought he was gonna get caught immediately behind. Oh no, that's not fair. You shouldn't be able to break off that easily. You simply shouldn't be able to. Mac Bannister lowers the shoulder. He's into the end zone. The Golden Broncos have the lead. Can the defense actually step up? I don't know what happened here. It's not showing me anything that's going on. It's 28-14. That's huge. We have the football. It's 3rd and 2. This is massive. Bannister the power back. 3rd and 2. Handoff. Cut it in. Mac Bannister gets the first down. That's probably the ball game. 28-14, but maybe we should go for that extra touchdown instead of kneeling it down. Hold on. I don't want to get a little crazy. I don't want to get real crazy here, but maybe we should go for a touchdown. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we should do. We have the opportunity. We have the opportunity to blow out a team. Should we take that opportunity? Blasingame! I threw a pick. Why can George Blasingame not outrun anybody? Is he just physically incapable of doing so? I know that wasn't a great ball, obviously. We do win 28-14, right? Yeah, 28-14. So we beat Michigan, but it's not the blowout. I had to go for it. I had the opportunity. I needed to get that blowout. We didn't get it, but we do get the win. And it was a 14-point victory. It wasn't like it's a single field goal or something. We get the win, but let's just hope that was enough to get some big 5 stars committed to the team. So we'll figure it out here. On the road finally against UCLA. We do get a bunch of commitments. Akeem Duck commits. Brendan Largent commits. Damian Moffitt commits. And Ramondre Irvin, who I put 5 hours on or something? Oh no, that was Titus Etienne. Lloyd Rudolph locked us out. We also got Stephen Hamels. We are loaded up now. We are absolutely loaded up. We've got all 5-stars currently. We have 6 5-stars and a 4-star committed to this team. I thought this class wasn't going to be that great, but it's turning out to be quite the class. Quite the class. Now we have all these hours. We can go ham. We can go absolutely honey-baked ham on all these guys. We'll get a Week 10 visit for you, championship contender. We'll put the full amount of hours on you, Titus ETN, even though we probably don't have to. Although I think Clemson is going after them now. Yeah, Clemson's offered him a scholarship, so they realized that he's actually a decent player. We'll schedule this dude for Week 12. We'll schedule you for Week 12, obviously. We already have Emory scheduled. We have you scheduled. We need to put more hours on you because we've been passed. We have been passed, but it's by Kentucky, so they suck. But they have their they had their Week 6 visit. Interesting. Should I start to hard sell anybody? Nah, I think we're fine. I think we'll leave it the way that it is. There's also a possibility we can get in on this 5-star safety, which feels a little weird, but maybe we can get on a 5-star safety. That'd be a nice extra 5-star to add. I mean, we're going after a bunch of 5-stars right now. We've already got a bunch. We've got 7 commitments, and 6 of them are 5-star recruits. That is huge. Big game against UCLA, though. Absolutely massive game. Need to win it. Hopefully the sim does well for us. And we lost the game. What is going on? We get Volk to commit. We get Quincy Afau to commit. We get Emery to commit. We get Azuma to commit. It doesn't, I guess it legitimately didn't matter. All these guys commit regardless of the loss. Wow. That's got to be #1 class in the country, right? We have 10 5-stars. This has got to be a record for me. We have 10 5-stars right now on the team in recruiting. That's got to be a record. I can't think of another time where I would have had 10 5-stars committed in one class. Wow, that's kind of crazy, actually. I can't hard sell a D+, can I? I don't like hard selling D pluses. We still, and 10 5-stars isn't even the end of it. We still have the chance for 4 more 5-stars. I don't think we're going to get all of them. I think we get 2 more. I don't think we get Jonathan Ham or Kiki. Maybe we will. Who knows? But I'd love to get them. But there's still a chance to add a total of 14 5-stars in this class, which would obviously be my most ever. That's pretty obvious to say that. It would be my most ever amount of 5-stars. But I don't think I've ever even gotten 10. There's still a 5-star. Oh, you can't tell. There's still a 5-star on the table. I can't let that go. I know he's a field general quarterback, and that's like legitimately like the last thing that we need. But you can't tell me there's a 5-star that's uncommitted yet and not tell me to go after him. So I had to do it. I had to do it. But I'll put some extra 4-stars on this. This could be the greatest class that's ever been put together. If we're able to pull this off. We'll try it, though. We add a couple extra guys to the board. We're going to toss some Scullies on everybody. Toss a few Scullies on everybody. We obviously got to go all in on Ty Zimmer if we want to bring in that extra 5-star. Let's get everybody going. And we might even go on Louis LeBeau. Let me fully scout him and see what he's all about. 95 jumping's a great start. 91 speed. He looks like a freak. We're going all in on him. We are going all in on Louis LeBeau, even though we don't necessarily need him. We're battling with Purdue. What's he like? He likes championship contender. Perfect. That's exactly what we're good at. I want to scout Ty Zimmer just to see what he's all about. 90 short accuracy is pretty good. 79 speed. You know what? That's honestly not as slow as I was expecting. We're going all in on him. See if we can get in the mix for another 5-star. 15 5-stars would be absolutely insane, by the way. And he's scheduled everywhere else. We can't get him on a visit. That's going to hurt. We might not get him. We might not get him. But that's okay. We'll toss 50 hours on everybody else. And if we have anything left, we can put them at on somebody else specifically. But it doesn't look like we're going to have anything else. I'll toss 55 there. I'll toss 5 on Ladarius Drew. Okay, so we've got some interesting recruits left. But, I mean, 10 5-stars is absolutely bonkers nuts. We take on USC. I probably should jump into the game, but maybe we can win. Who knows? We did not. We are 4-3 and unranked. Wow, we're in the Oregon playbook. What's going on here? It's got to be Nick Madden is the problem. So Dunsbar chose Clemson. Zimmer locks us out. Darn it, that last 5-star we're not going to get. That sucks. I kind of wanted him. I know we weren't gonna really he wasn't gonna ever play. Maybe he knew that. Maybe he could feel that he was never gonna play for us. That's why he locked us out. I was simply only going after him. I was using him basically. I was using him for his star rating to make our class look even better. But since he locked us out, that gives us the time and the ability to go after everybody else more easily. So let's just toss all those extra hours on everybody here. Perfect. I can also schedule a visit for this guy. What's his name? Noriga? Noriga? Is it? I don't know. Noriga? I don't know how to say that name, but we can get him on a week 13 visit. He likes conference prestige. We've got everybody else visited. We've lost on Jonathan Ham because we're losing games, I would assume. Our playing style has gone up to a C, so I can hard sell that. D plus is a little bit too much for me to hard sell. I don't prefer doing that, but a C plus, I mean, it's still not great, but it's better than a D. So we'll hard sell that. Maybe that can get us in good favor with him. We obviously need to win games. That would also get us in good favor. So if we can beat Wisconsin, we need to win this game, please. Please, 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 please. Win the game, win the game, win the game. We win! Yes! We're back ranked. Thankfully. Whew, that was close. I didn't think we were going to win that game. All right, how are we looking for commitments? Jonathan Ham commits to Kentucky. We shouldn't have lost that game to USC. If we win that game against USC, we might be able to get Ham. That's annoying. So we lose out on a potential 5-star. But we are looking good for the last 2 5-stars have a chance. We have actually, no, Joe Hollis commits. I didn't even see that. So that's 11 5-stars, right? Yeah, we have 11 5-stars on the team. Oh my God. Why does this have to be the last year? I've never recruited this well in terms of getting 5-stars. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Man. We have 11 5-stars on campus. Or going to be on campus. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We've got a big game against Iowa. I'm not going to jump into this one, even though there are recruits on campus. I mean, they're 2-7. We should be able to win this game, right? You'd think so. If we lose this one, I'd be super annoyed. We win the game. I don't know if we blew them out, but we win the game. And what does that do for us? It gets us Maddox recruited to the team. Devin Maddox. We lose out on Devontae Booty, which is a great name. It looks like we might just lose out on Louis LeBeau. I don't think there's anything else we can do except for hard sell him. We have good grades, so we can try the hard sell. But he might just want to go to Purdue. They might just be too far ahead. But we can try the hard sell, see if that can sway it in a different direction. And speaking of, we can also probably try a sway. I've never tried a sway before. You don't have enough hours to do this? Oh, we have 40 out of 65. If successful, this will add your chosen ideal pitch as the recruit's ideal pitch for your school only. Easier to sway when part of a proposed pitch matches the ideal. Okay, so I've never tried a sway before. Maybe we should try. I can't do it actually, or maybe I can. Can I take this off? Okay, I can take off the hard sell. Let me try a sway. I've never done that before. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but let's try a sway. I'm very curious to see if that's going to work. Might as well. I mean, College Bowl 25 is basically done anyway, so might as well try something I've never tried before. See if that can get us an extra wide receiver that we didn't think we were gonna have a shot at. So I don't know. We'll try it. I don't think I can schedule anymore. Yeah, I'm locked out of all visits now. We've got too many people on campus, so we're just gonna have to go and hope that they just naturally grow. Taking on a bad Indiana team should be another victory. Hopefully we see a 7 in that win column. Losing, I definitely think that losing that, we win the game, by the way. Losing that game to USC definitely lost us Jonathan Ham. I do believe that. It was going to be tough to win him in the first place. Did the sway work? It gives us +3 on the green arrows. I don't know if that means anything. Or the green triangles, I guess. Oh, Purdue took their visit away. They had a week 14 scheduled. And now they don't. Is that what the sway does? It takes away a visit? That's not what it said. I didn't think CPU... We can't take our visits away. Once they're scheduled, they're scheduled. So why... So the CPU can take their visits off of players? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. We're losing on Kiki. We need to sell him on something. We need to hard sell him because he's one of our last 5 stars that we're going after. So we can't really afford to lose ground on him. We're going to do the prestigious, which is 2 A's and a B. That's fine enough. Hopefully that works. We can bring him in. We got him on a week 13. And that is next week. We got the big Washington game. We're probably going to have to jump into this one. I don't really want to let this sim because we're probably going to lose it if we sim. So we might lose if we jump in, but at least it gives us a better chance. So let's jump in, play Washington. We got 5 stars on campus. We need this win bad. Maybe the most important game of the season so far, not just for the 5-star recruits that are on campus, the last couple, but also because this determines if we're going to even do anything in the postseason. If we lose this game, we're out of the Big Ten championship. We might already be out of it anyway, but if we lose this game, we're definitely out of it. And we're not going to make the playoffs, the college football playoffs, if we lose this game. So there is a lot riding on this win. We will jump in. It's the 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 4. We need a touchdown here. We don't have a great history with Washington. We know that. But this game needs to be different. We're going to take that first down. That's guaranteed yardage with Nick Madden. Absolute guaranteed yardage. We get into the red zone. We've got 2nd and 4. Clock is moving. Handoff. Bannister gets around everybody. Good job, Mac Bannister. Good job. And we're going to do a halfback blast. This is a direct snap, halfback blast to Bannister. Just get it and just blast through. He gets 3 yards. Okay, that's decent. Decent enough. And we're using Mac Bannister a lot right here. I guess that makes sense. We're trying to get power running back into the end zone, and he's going to do it. Bannister gives us the lead. He just got that ball across. Bannister gives us the lead, and we got the football back without Washington scoring. That's huge. I'm not going to try to risk for a blowout, although they're going to press me up. Maybe that should be what I do, because they're going to be ready for the run. There is no safety over the top there. If I just send Christopher Greenwell on a streak, he might just have it too. I'm sure somebody's going to track with him, but no, that's wide open. Christopher Greenwell, I mean, both him and Alfonso were both open, so I could have chose either one, but Christopher Greenwell scores the touchdown. We could have just ran it out, but they were ready for the run. And it's 21-16. We win the game. So they do end up getting a touchdown back in the 4th quarter, so the blowout didn't really happen, but I was just looking for the win. We needed the win. We got the win. And maybe that'll impress the recruits enough to say, you want to come play for us? That could be pretty sick if they do. That could be pretty sick if they do. But that was a massive win. We needed that to stay relevant in the Big Ten Conference. We needed that win. So let's see what happens here. Taking on a bad Purdue team. What kind of recruitments do we get? We get... No! Kiki chose Miami! Okay, so we get Titus ETN, which is another 5-star, but Kiki chose Miami. Lardarius Drew chose South Carolina. God, that sucks. All right, whatever. We still end up with 12 5-stars. I'm complaining we didn't get a 5-star. We still got 12 freaking 5-stars. So it's not like we're scrounging for talent by any means. I mean, this has got to be the most 5-stars I've ever recruited in my entire time on College Football 25. It absolutely has to. We are making up ground for Louis LeBeau. I'm still curious about why Purdue took their visit off of him. It's very strange. I don't know. Speaking of Purdue, we do play them right here. I don't think I'm going to jump in. We should be able to beat Purdue, right? They're not that good of a team. We should be able to win this game pretty easily. Did we win it? We do win it. That's huge. And does that mean we're playing in the Big Ten Championship Conference standings? No, there was an undefeated team. We missed out on the Big Ten Championship with 2 losses. It's going to be USC and Michigan State. Oh, for the first time since we've joined the Big Ten, we will not play in the Big Ten Championship. We just took too many losses. USC is undefeated. Oh, that's brutal. That is, 2 losses. Man, okay, whatever. We do get Louis LeBeau because obviously beating the team that was ahead of us helps out. So Louis LeBeau commits to the Golden Broncos. We're looking good for everybody else. Man, we are rolling in the prospects right now. We are rolling in the commitments. This is one of my most successful recruiting classes I've ever had. Ooh, Denzel Tiffin might be too far gone. But we do have him in the pipeline. He's from Southern California, he's from South Carolina, which is where we are technically. We're not technically in Northern Ohio because we took over Charlotte. So we had to be put in South Carolina, which I hope in College Football 26 you're able to actually control where you can be placed instead of just taking over everything that the team you replace is. So like if we replace Charlotte, we take over everything that they have, their grades, their hometown, where they're from, where they're located. I hope that can change at 26. I don't know if it is. I haven't heard anything about that, but maybe it can. That'd be pretty sick if it could. Unfortunately, we don't play in the Big Ten Championship. But do we still have a chance? I don't think we have a chance for we get Corbin Thomas. That's nice. I don't think we have a chance for Tiffin. Yeah, we were too far away. I don't think we're gonna play in the playoffs. Let me take a look at the bracket. Are we in the playoffs? We are. We have a home playoff game against Stanford scheduled right now. Okay. Pretty awesome. How is the recruiting going? Tiffin is gone. Thomas has committed. That's nice. We should be able to get these 2 guys pretty soon. And we're making some big pushes for these last few. This recruiting class, regardless if we get the rest of those guys, this recruiting class is going to be freaking amazing. 12 5-stars? Are you kidding me? Of course, I get my most amount of 5-stars the one time where I'm not going to be playing the next year. Oh, that makes the most sense, doesn't it? That's usually how my luck goes. But that's okay. We'll know that they're 5-stars in our heart. Mike Thrash wins the Heisman. 39 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Good for him. And we are playing Eastern Michigan in the College Football Playoff. In our home game. Okay. Not what I would expect it to be playing, but hey, whatever. At least it's not Stanford. Let's take a look at these dev traits, though. Josh Boyette, elite dev. Star dev for Mac Wolfert, star for Akeem Duck, and for Brendan Largent, and for Damian Moffitt. Normal for Ramondre Irwin, star for Joey Volk, and for Quincy Afau, and for Eric Emery, and for Dylan Azuma, and for Joe Hollis, and for Titus Etienne. Impact for Bretton Hardrick. Elite dev for Stephen Hamels, the 4-star gem. Impact for Devin Maddox, and for Louis LeBeau, and for Corbin Thomas, and for Lyle Vigil, and for Daryl Byers. So a lot of impact and a lot of star, which is huge. Star's a really good development trait. And a few elite devs sprinkled in there too. So really solid recruiting class. Really, really solid recruiting class. We have 30 skill points. I don't know how we got 30. We have 30 skill points. Should we go into more so into elite recruiter? We probably don't need to, right? I guess we could. We don't need to recover from injury. We're not really having injuries, are we? Did we have any injuries this year? London Bradley's injured for a week, so he's gonna miss this first game. What are our stats looking like? We got Nick Madden with 2,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I think we lost some games because he just wasn't that good. That's probably why we lost. Maybe if I would have started Dave Grimes, maybe we would have won some more games. I don't know. Rushing numbers, we didn't rush very well because this isn't a rushing playbook. That's okay. Receiving numbers, Nick Alfonso, the freshman redshirt, got the most yards. Okay. Not what I would have expected, but that's cool. 7 touchdowns as well, 9 touchdowns. There we go. Blocking, defensively, 69 tackles for Quentin Luther. As expected, he's a freak. He's a stud. He's amazing. 7 tackles for loss for Eric Kenyon. That's good to see. He's going to develop really well. 6 sacks for Benjamin Obi, the freshman redshirt. Michael Gilly has 3.5, 2.5 for Eric Kenyon. 3 interceptions for Justice and Forrest. And then 2 for David Blanco. 1 for a few different people. Punting, kick returning. Do we have any kick return touchdowns? No kick returns, no punt returns. Okay, good numbers. Pretty good numbers. We are going to jump in and try to win this playoff game. At least it's a home playoff game, so that makes it a little bit easier. But not going to the Big Ten Championship definitely hurts. We shouldn't have lost 3 games. It's very annoying. But hey, we made the playoffs still. We still have a chance to win national championship again. There's still a chance to go back-to-back. We just got to beat Eastern Michigan first. Our home playoff game is here against Eastern Michigan. This takes us back to early days of the Dynasty when we were playing teams like Eastern Michigan, but both of us have leveled up. Because obviously the one we were playing Eastern Michigan before, we weren't playing for this much on the line. A chance to go to an actual college football playoff bowl game. We're winning 17-6, 17-14 now. All right, I'm a little bit terrified that we might lose this game. So we're going to turn on that shoe clock, that classic shoe clock. And we're going to try to get a first down here and then maybe go on to win the game. That's the goal. We'll see what happens. What's Nick Madden got up his sleeve? Probably nothing too good. Wow, they took away my only option. Well, not my only option, but the guy that I was looking at as my only option. And I didn't... Once they took that away, I didn't plan on throwing anything else. They took away my underneath route. That was what I was going to throw to. I didn't have another backup plan. I gotta hit this. I wasn't gonna be able to outrun him, so thankfully Nick Madden had a good throw. Because I was not gonna be able to outrun him. Let's try to get through some people. We could just call a touchdown here, but we're gonna change it to a run because we actually need to waste some clock. I haven't been overly impressed with Bryce O'Connor in the games that we've jumped into, but I mean, to be fair, we've only jumped in for a few moments here and there. Maybe if I played every minute of every game with Bryce O'Connor, like we had previously, maybe I would be a little bit more impressed with him. But as of right now, I am not that much impressed with the former 5-star wide receiver turned running back, Bryce O'Connor. And I shouldn't say just former 5-star wide. He's the former number 1 player in the country, Bryce O'Connor. He's not just a former 5-star. We get the first down, and they call a timeout. Beautiful. We hand it off to O'Connor, and he's going to drive down. Beautifully done there. That was really well done run there. Gets us to 2nd and 3 from the 17-yard line. And Eastern Michigan's got 1 timeout remaining, which they will use right here. And we got the first down on that, too. So that's probably the game. We can just kneel it down and win this football game, can't we? Let's kneel it. Boom. And that is the victory. 17-14. A little bit closer than you would have liked, but we did the job. We did the job. We win the home playoff game, which I think is the first home playoff game in this dynasty's history. I can't remember. Maybe we played one in the first year. I guess we'll take a look at the coach contract and see if we've played a home playoff game before. I can't remember if we have or not. That might have very well been the first ever home playoff game in the team's history. But we do get the win. Congratulations. Woo! Playoff winner. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. W's, big W's. Let's take a look at the coach contracts real quick, though. Yes, it is the first ever home playoff game because every other game we either made a bowl game right here these 2 years, or we just went straight to the bye and then had other playoff games as well, or the actual big New Year's Six playoff games. But our first ever home playoff game, that's pretty cool. Nice little boost to the Northern Ohio community in terms of the economic value. People spending a lot of money around the city. Huge game against Houston in the Cotton Bowl, though. Huge, huge game. And we get something else unlocked. What do we got? Program Builder. The Program Builder. Let's go, baby. We are a Program Builder. Big game against Houston. They're not as good of us overall-wise. We should be able to handle this. But you never know. We're back in the college football playoffs, and this time it's the Cotton Bowl Classic against Houston. And Houston, we have a problem because you are going down. You're not going to be able to beat us. You're simply not better than us. We are uber talented, and we're going to win this game. That's how it's going to go. Although it's 10-7, a little bit closer than I would prefer. Can we please score? What's going on here? There we go, 17-7. Get the football back, please. Take control. Here we go. 17-7. Beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. They're going to use their final timeout, it looks like. All we need to do is get 4 yards. We got Bryce O'Connor in the game. All we got to do is get 4 yards. We're not going to get 4 yards. They shut that down very easily. All right. Good to know. Good to know. But we do get the field goal, and we win the game 20-7. Bye-bye, Houston. Bye-bye. The Golden Broncos are playing in the semifinals. The Golden Broncos are playing in them semifinals. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We're playing in them semifinals. And we are now 1 game away from defending our crown as the national champions. Congratulations. We add another trophy to the trophy cabinet. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Let's go see who we're playing in the semis. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it had to be. It absolutely had to be. The #1 team in the nation, the undefeated USC Trojans. Oh, it just had to be. What a matchup. What an absolute matchup. The other matchup is Michigan State and Florida. So there's a good chance it could be an all Big Ten championship. And didn't we just play Michigan State in the Big Ten or in the national championship last year? I think we played Michigan State in the national championship last year. So it could be a national championship rematch if we're able to get past USC. But of course, out of all the teams we could have gotten in the semifinals, it had to be USC. This is unbelievable. The fact that we're playing USC. They're undefeated. We have a few losses. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this, does it? This is the biggest game of our season. Taking on the #1 team of the nation, the USC Trojans. We played them earlier in the year and they beat us. It was at their place, though. We had to go on the road to them. This one's at least a neutral site. But this is a massive game. It's a chance to go to the national championship. It is a chance to go to the national championship, and we are down 17-14 with 3 minutes to go in the game. We need a touchdown. I guess we need a field goal, technically, but we need a touchdown to win this football game. Is it possible? I don't know. We will find out. I'm going to scramble with Nick Madden because that's my only option. We are in field goal range, which is nice. But I don't want field goal range. I want touchdown range. Bryce O'Connor running behind a trove of blockers. He gets all the way up there. We're going to call a no huddle. Maybe catch him a little off guard. Who knows? It also runs just a little bit of time off the clock. Bryce O'Connor's got room. Bryce O'Connor all the way down to the 7. He was bobbing and weaving. I'm not going to snap this before the 2-minute warning. I'm not going to give them an extra timeout, that's for sure. Okay, we are knocking on the door. You might even say knocking on heaven's door. But we are ready to score. Handoff. Bryce O'Connor down to the 4. Can we punch this in? Michigan State won, by the way, if you look at the bottom of your screen. So if we win this game, it's going to be a rematch. We're into the end zone. Maybe we scored too early. I don't know. No, we got the ball back. The boys have the football back. USC with a turnover. Oh, they suck. USC sold. They sold so hard. Bryce O'Connor goes down. First timeout used by USC. Wow, I can't believe that USC has sold so hard. They gave us the football back. If we can just hold on for this lead, it'll be a rematch of last year's national championship. You don't usually see that, do you? You don't usually see 2 years in a row it's the same two teams in the national championship in this game. Usually you get the CPU teams they shuffle around a lot of different teams. This is a little risky, though. We didn't get a first down here, so it's 4th and 3 with all the timeouts used. First down wins the game. We're going to go to blasting game. First down. We're headed back to the national championship. All of the odds were against us. We lost 3 games this year, but we still somehow are able to do it. And in the process of getting back to the national championship, we got our lick back. We had receipts for the USC game, and we got it back. Wow, we're playing for another national championship. I can't believe it. I thought, honestly, we were going to be done in like the second round or something. The way this team was going to play. But this team's got heart. Or as dead former Boston Mayor Thomas Menino would say, this team's got a lot of heart. A lot of heart in this team. Let's go to the national championship and play Michigan State again. What a season this has been. And there it is. A rematch. Michigan State trying to get the revenge from last season when we beat them. But they will not get it. Little do they know that we want back-to-back championships. And we're going to do it right here, right now. The national championship game is upon us. A rematch of last year's between us and the Spartans of Michigan State. But this year is going to be the same as last year. We're going to win it. That's just all that's going to happen. We're going to win a national championship 2 years in a row, and we're going to ride off into the sunset, ready to go for College Bowl 26. We're up 21-0. Now it's 21-7. Come on, boys. We can do it. Back-to-back natties. Back-to-back natties. I can feel it. 28-7. Come on, boys. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We are 10 seconds away. It's mathematically impossible. We're going to do it. Back-to-back natties for the good guys. And the Northern Ohio Golden Broncos are 2-time national champions back-to-back. We have officially completed what we set out to do, which was make this no-name program from Northern Ohio the best team in Ohio. And we've done that. They're a national brand. They're getting 12 5-stars a year. We've done it. Dickie Guyton, former NFL all-time receiver, has come to the coaching ranks and has won 2 national championships. He's one of the greatest of all time now. What a scene. The boys are loving it. Blasting game had 2 touchdowns in that game. Okay, good for George. Good for Georgie. Hey there, Georgie. Why is that guy standing? Get out of the, you're in the shot. Get out of the way. Whatever. We win 2 straight national championships. I did not think this season would end with a national championship when I saw we had 3 losses. But they gave us a chance. The committee said, you know what? We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're the defending national champions. We're going to let you have a playoff spot. They let us have it, and we did not squander that opportunity. We took advantage. Winning this second national championship really feels good because it means we can put a bow on this series as a whole and not think about what could have been with this dynasty. We know that it actually is a dynasty at this point. And I think that's pretty evident by the recruiting class that we're going to be bringing in this offseason as well. So let's take one final look at the full season stats after every game has been played. And Nick Madden will finish with 3,700 yards, 33 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Very good season from Nick Madden. Bryce O'Connor will finish with 645 or 654. But remember, like I said earlier, this Oregon playbook is not necessarily keyed in on running the football very much. So these are fine numbers for what the playbook is given. Receiving numbers, it still shocks me that Nick Alfonso is the leading receiver, but whatever. I guess that's cool. I mean, he's going to get good development anyway, so that's pretty sick. Then you've got defensively, Quentin Luther continues to be a monster tackler, and he should be getting drafted. At least I hope he does. Eric Kenyon's going to be a beast in the future if we were to go further. Benjamin Obi-Wan Kenobi with 8 sacks. He's a freak. Then we've got Justice with 4 interceptions. Some good numbers. Some very, very good numbers. At the very, very end of this, we will take a look at the career stats for the players and see where they end up. A quick little peek at All-Americans, even though we're not going to have anybody in here because the All-American system is flawed in this game. But we're not going to have any All-Americans in here. Alex Forrest makes freshman All-American nationally. What about in the Big Ten? That's the Big 12. What about in the Big Ten? No first-teamer. Oh, Joey Kenton, the punter. Good. We have a punter that makes the Big Ten first team. Dave Grimes. How the F did Dave Grimes make it? He had 98 yards the entire year. Nick Alfonso deserves it. Leon Jennings, Alex Forrest. See, that's why I'm talking about it. It's flawed. Like Dave Grimes, 98 yards the entire season. He played like 2 minutes of a game, and he gets Big Ten freshman All-American. Doesn't make any sense. But whatever. I hope they fix it in 26. Let's move on to the offseason, get this done quick so we can end this series in the right way. We'll get to, Quentin Luther, player of the week defensively, well-deserved. I'm assuming Blasingame is going to be offensive player of the week, and he is, because they were really making it seem like he was dominant, which he was. I mean, 7 for 143 and 2 touchdowns is no small feat. And there it is. CEO has been unlocked. I don't even think we unlocked that in the Hawaii Dynasty. Not that I can remember. Maybe we'll up because I haven't recorded the final episode of that series just yet as of recording this one. So maybe we'll unlock it in that next video. But we've got 30 skill points. I might as well spend these skill points. Let's just go into... Let's purchase something in here, maybe? Yeah, let's just go into Tactician and spend some skill points. It doesn't really matter. But we might as well get some decent ratings for our players. Or some decent boosts, I guess. Okay, let's take a quick look at the career stats before we simulate to the offseason here. So the career stats for Nick Madden, he finishes with 6,600 yards, 61 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. A lot of those interceptions are obviously my doing, but hey, it is what it is. That's what you get when you have me behind the sticks. 3,000 career yards for Jayshon Oliver. He would have obviously had 4,000 most likely if he played the whole season instead of Bryce O'Connor and Mac Bannister getting more reps. But 43 career touchdowns is pretty good. And then receiving, Greenwell Jr. finishes with 1,900 yards and 22 touchdowns. Greg Mills has 1,700. Levine has 1,600, but that's because he was a transfer. He comes in from another team, so a lot of those numbers are from his previous team. Good touchdown numbers, though. Greenwell Jr. really had a big breakout season a couple seasons ago. Defensively, 220 career tackles for Quentin Luther. 204 for Camden Carvalho, Justice 118, tackle velocity leader was Darius Lockett, as expected, he's a beast. And then Quentin Luther, Antoine Sparks, Michael Gilly, sack leader was Darius Lockett with 9.5. Obi has 8 as a freshman, and that's already the top of the career numbers. And then you got Kayvon Justice with 9 career interceptions. Day Carvalho had 5. You love to see it. You love to see it. The boys are boying, and the career numbers are pretty sick. They're not what they were with other players. Like, we've had some pretty crazy players in our history, as shown by these records here. If we go over to the Northern Ohio Golden Broncos, Deshaun Wheeler was our best quarterback statistically with 4,600 yards in his in a season. Then we got Amani Tolles, who was a freak receiver. Jayshon Oliver was a beast. We did, in fact, take up all of these season records from Charlotte, which is one of the goals that I wanted to do. I'm assuming the career numbers we didn't take up. I'm assuming those career numbers we didn't take up, but I think we did take up all of the... Yeah, we missed out on 2. The receiving yard, or the rushing yards and the receiving yards are the only 2 Charlotte records we didn't get in a career. But in a career, Deshaun Wheeler, 8,900 yards in his career is pretty insane. Now, obviously, that was boosted because the first year he had like 5,000 yards. Sammy Allen Jr. finishes with the most career receiving yards. Deshaun Wheeler has 81 career passing touchdowns. Jason Oliver is the career rushing touchdown leader with 43. Jeremiah Buckley sack leader with 36. Sammy Allen Jr. with 34 touchdowns. And Eric James Jr. with 14 career interceptions. So we really did put our mark on this program with some of the players we had. Let's move on to the offseason, solidify that recruiting class, and then wrap up the video. So here we go. The two-time defending national champions say goodbye for the final time to some of our players. And wow, George Blasingame wants to go early to the draft. That's kind of crazy, actually. Not something I expected. And you know what? Since this is the final year, I might just let him do it. No quarterbacks are leaving, so that means Nick Madden comes back. Jayshon Oliver and Mac Bannister graduate. At wide receiver, Blasingame we know about. Greenwell, Z. Smith, and Enrique Levine all graduate. I would assume one of them would get drafted, maybe not. I think I'm just going to let Blasingame go to the draft because what's it going to matter? We're not playing this series anymore after this, so I think I'll just let him go. Jeremiah Melvin going to graduate. Marquise Harvey and Lance Patton, two of the guys that we recruited in, I think, that first ever season, maybe. They're both graduating. Monte Moore goes to the draft, or goes to graduation. London Bradley gets graduation. And then Pierce Erickson is graduating. So a lot of offensive linemen are graduating for us. Brian Helton, Darius Lockett, and Jakari Warwick all graduate. Then you got Michael Gilly, who was a beast for us. Quentin Luther and Mason Curtis both graduating. I hate to see both of them leave. They were freaks. Antoine Sparks and Byron Worrell are graduating. Kayvon Justice and Brahim Long Jr. graduate. And then Cam De Carvalho and Sean Martin are the other players graduate. Oh, Joey Kenton graduates as well. I'm going to let Blasingame go to the draft because it's not going to matter. We're only going to the end of this offseason. So we might as well let him live out his dreams of potentially playing in the NFL draft or playing in the NFL. So he does get drafted. It's round 5 is when he gets drafted. Good for him. He'll get some reps on a team. He's got the skills. And the transfer portal is open. We have 1,200 hours to spend. But with this recruiting class that we got, I don't think we need to spend any. I guess we'll take a look just to do our due diligence. But 12 5-stars is already more than enough talent to bring to the squad. So I'll bring in some extra 4-stars just for the fun of it, just to spend some hours. But we do not need really anybody at this point. Even these guys we don't necessarily need. I'd like to boost up my recruiting class ranking a little bit higher, just for vanity purposes. And we might not even get any of these guys. It's not even a guarantee we get any of them. I think the only one that we could guarantee is that free safety. We'd have to battle these other teams to get these guys. So I guess we'll take a look at the transfer portal, see if there's anybody that's like crazy in there, but I doubt it. We can get a 4-star quarterback, which we don't need, and we can get a 4-star wide receiver, which I'll put on the board just because he's a wide receiver. It's the same thing as Enrique Levine last year. He's got 96 speed. Okay, I'm interested. I am intrigued. But I'm doing all this because it doesn't matter. He's not going to play for us. We're never going to go to season number 3 or season number 6 or whatever it is. So it's not like it's going to matter. But we're going to let that ride and see if we can boost up those recruiting numbers even higher than they already are. 12 5-stars. What was it? 7 4-stars, something like that. Absolute insanity. Crazy numbers. Best recruiting class I've ever had. We're looking good for everybody. It's going to be tough to get some of these guys. I think we'll be able to get Reese, though. We'll see what happens in week number 2. That's when all their visits are scheduled, except for the portal guy. He's scheduled week 3, I think. We do get Austin Reese, which I assumed we'd get. Cal McGinnis accepts, so that's 2 more 4-stars added to the team. And yeah, I kind of assumed we wouldn't get all of them. But 2 more 4-stars added, plus the wide receiver who we're still going after. Plus the receiver. So we'll see what happens here. We'll take off this guy off the board, if I can. There we go. And we should be able to grab him after this week. If we simulate this week, he should commit. At least that's the plan. And he does. Antonio Sneed, transfer, is in to the program. Welcome aboard. You're not going to do anything. You're in the ether now. But we finished with 22 commitments, and that is 12 5 stars and 10 4 stars. Absolute insanity to get 12 5 stars. My best class by a mile. I don't think I've ever gotten more than maybe 7, maybe 8 at one point. I got 5 stars, but I know I never got double digits. So getting 12 is just crazy. I can't believe we actually did it. 12 effing 5 stars. And I talked about how the pressure was off at the beginning of this episode. And it really was. The pressure was off. I got all these 5 stars. So let's take a look at these last few guys, what their dev trade is. Normal for Reese, star for Cal McGinnis, and star for Antonio Snead, the transfer wide receiver. And we will officially finish as the number 1 class in the nation, bringing in 22 commitments, 12 5 stars, 10 4 stars, with a total of 277 points, which was the number 1 by an absolute bullet. So huge numbers, best recruiting class of all time on my channel, and I'm super excited about it. So the athletic people, Lyle Virgil is a quarterback, but he's better running back. Let's make him a running back. 6'2", 190, sure, why not? What about Damian Moffitt? He's the power running back. Yeah, he's a big time running back. 78. He could also play defensive end, which is kind of cool, but we're gonna make him a running back. And then Titus Etienne, also a quarterback, but he's a better running back. He's 6'3", 224. He's going to be a running back. Or he's going to be a quarterback, I mean. He's not going to be a running back. Dave Grimes, we'll see what happens with the training, but maybe Dave Grimes is going to be the starter next year if we were to go any further. I guess we'll find out. Let's move on to the training results and see what kind of development we get from some of these guys. We got 40 skill points, by the way, which is just pretty cool. So we might as well go into the tactician. Let's buy this scheme guru thing, and then we will burn some more points. No wonder our offensive line was so good. I spent a lot of my points in offensive line training. I didn't even realize I did that. But there we go. We boost up all of the tactician stuff, and we will go to the training results. Who gets the big boost? Bryce O'Connor is now a 97. Oh, yeah. If he doesn't go to the draft next year, he's a 99 for sure. He's going to be a 99. Nicholas Hunter is a 94. He got a massive boost. What's his dev trait? Impact. Nicholas Hunter wasn't even on my radar, and now he's the second best player on the team. Grant Kane's a good player. Ikaguanu is up there now. Let's go. What about the quarterback situation? Max Marcus, the former 5-star, is the highest overall quarterback on the team. Wow. Some changes there. At running back, Rashard Sermons gets up to an 89. Obviously, these guys don't get any boost because they're freshmen. At wide receiver, Ikaguanu now becomes the number 1 wide receiver. He's the two-way player, remember. Then you got Nick Alfonso. I thought he'd take a bigger boost. Liedke, Baraka, and Antonio Snead, the transfer, and then a bunch of freshmen. So we got a bunch of guys that have played here a little bit, and then a bunch of freshmen. But 99 speed Joey Volk is absolute insanity. I like this team a lot. And then you got Greg Mills, who's a senior. You got Manny Sharp and Miguel Escalante, who are going to be pretty good players for us. At offensive line, we did lose a lot of offensive linemen that were highly rated, but it looks like we replaced them with other offensive linemen that are also very highly rated. Benjamin Obi is an 87 as a sophomore. What a freak. And he had 8 sacks last year. Eric Kenyon developed really well. Same thing for Storm Kavka. And then Bo Keaton. Is it Kenton or Keaton? Bo Keaton. And then you got Leon Jennings, who didn't transfer, thankfully. He's got 87 overall. This is a good team. Steve Cantu at 86 overall. You got Nicholas Hunter, who was, like I said, not even on my radar. Now he's a 94. Then you got Vernon Smith, 89, and McGarity, who's an 80. At corner, I thought for a second we didn't have any corners, but we have David Blanco and Andre Price, both at 89 overall. Remember, Andre Price is the 5-star former number 2 player in the country. Around there, top 3, I think, from last episode. He's an 89 already. Santiago Lima, former quarterback, is already an 87, so that was a good move to take him to corner. And then you got Kenya Sasser. Oh, yeah, this is a good team. I almost don't want to end this series because of how many good players we have on this team, but it's just the way that it's lined up. Oh, I didn't get a punter. That's bad. The way that it's lined up with the cycle, College Football 26 cycle, starting very, 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 very soon. It just doesn't make any sense to carry this over, so we are going to end it. But the final thing we have to take care of is encouraging transfers, and we don't have anything. We are actually under roster with 82 out of 85. So we will move to the end of the series because I'm not going to go past the preseason. So I don't want to get attached to any recruits. That would just make it more difficult. We did get to level 50, by the way, if you're curious about that. So here we are, the end of the series. Let's take one final look at this coach contract thing. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons of Golden Bronco football in this dynasty. We made a bowl game every year. We won the MAC conference one year. Then we moved to the Big Ten, won that twice. We won a few bowl games. Our trophy cabinet is pretty full, by the way, because we've got the 68 Ventures Bowl, we've got the Camellia Bowl and a MAC trophy. We've got 2 Big Ten championships, an Orange Bowl, a Rose Bowl, 2 Cotton Bowls, a Fiesta Bowl trophy, 2 national championships, and a college football playoff trophy. I don't know if you get a trophy for winning a home playoff game, but we have it. If there is one, we have one. And Dickie Guyton, former New England Patriots star wide receiver, came to college to coach and ends up being one of the greatest coaches of all time. It's been a fun series. I've really, really, really enjoyed it. And I'm sad to see it go because of the team that we've built and the guys we have in the future. But it just, like I said, the timeline doesn't match up for college football 26. So we're going to most likely going to create a new team builder dynasty for college football 26. And we can build up those relationships with those guys in that game. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, this is going to do it for the Golden Broncos. We've completed the goal that we needed to do, which was be the best team in Ohio. And I think we've certainly done that because the Buckeyes have not simulated very well in this dynasty. So I think we have asserted ourselves as the best team in the state of Ohio. But that is going to do it for this dynasty and this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you want to catch up on any other episodes you may have missed, there's always a link down below in the description of each of these videos for the link to the playlist. And you can go and watch the entire history of the Golden Broncos from episode 1 all the way to whatever episode this is. And you can see it episode by episode, binge watch it, and see the development, see the process of how this team went from a no-name school to national champions 2 years in a row. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.